in 2 months you may be priced out of.
Right.
So you want to look at, am I flexible on my area? If I'm not, then I need to be looking at the market and seeing what the market is doing in that area. Because if I see the price continuing to do this,
you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move. YMA.
All right,
Young
guys.
Millionaires Association.
Welcome
Yeah, see,
to
that's
the
the association.
YMA Nation podcast, episode number 81.
81.
Real Estate Wednesday.
My show.
I know
We're gonna
everybody.
talk real estate. Okay.
All righty then.
I'm excited
I
about
can
my
tell
show.
you excited. You must got some good information
I do.
today. Good,
But-
good. I'm excited too.
We got to tell them.
Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do the finger thing again. Make sure you like. Okay, let's start over. make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And subscribe. If you're on right now, go ahead and click the like button. It definitely helps the show. It helps the algorithm, helps us trend up higher. So it helps us grow.
Thank you.
Yeah, it helps us grow, guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you hashtag YMA Nation down in the comment section. You ready for your show today?
Yes.
Yes. So what are we talking about?
Are y'all ready for the show today? So this show is geared toward the buyers. It can be geared toward the sellers if you're looking to sell and buy. So should you wait to buy? And what are the pros and cons if you decide to wait to buy?
You mean buy a home?
Buy a home.
Should you wait to buy a home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should you?
Should you wait to buy a home? That's interesting. In today's market, there are pros and cons on if you should buy a home right now.
Yes.
Now, is this geared toward the first-time homeowners or current homeowners or both?
Both.
Both. So I guess I would consider, if I am a current homeowner, do I want to sell my home and buy a home right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. I mean, yes and no. If I can find
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you got to look at both, like the perspective from both sides. What's the vantage view on this? Mm-hmm. I can, possibly keep my current home.
Right.
And use my current home as a rental property. Right. And then buy a home. So now I can make a few $100s off of that property every month. Mm-hmm. And every time I make a mortgage payment because whoever's renting that property mm-hmm. is paying me rent, and I'm paying back into that home, I'm building more and
equity.
More equity.
Okay.
Equity is the key thing.
So I have 3 main points that I'm going to talk about of why you should or should not buy a home right now in this market.
I can't wait to hear the why nots.
Okay.
To buy right now. So, but go ahead.
So we're going to talk about the why not.
We're going to start off with the
why not.
Okay.
You have no reserves. You have no funds.
That's why not to buy a house.
Right.
So if you don't have it, don't buy.
If you don't have any savings, you're putting yourself in a position in this market to not be able to compete with other buyers that are in the market. So what we're seeing on the real estate side is a lot of frustrated buyers, especially first-time home buyers who are trying to use first-time home buyer products, down payment assistance programs, right. USDA programs, because those are not as competitive as conventional loans or people who are bringing a lot of cash, maybe doing half cash, half financing. They don't have to finance the whole loan. All cash buyers who are able to take a lot of contingencies off the table, meaning like your inspection, and we've talked about these in previous episodes, but your inspections, appraisals, things like that.
Let me jump in.
Okay.
I was late for the podcast today, so we actually started filming a bit later. and I was at a meeting where an investor was on the phone in Texas, and they was talking about the properties in Spartanburg, and the investor was like, "Well, I'll just bring cash," like not even talking about any finance or anything. So just imagine if you're trying to find a home and that home is $250,000, and you put in that offer, and then someone comes with cash for like $270, or there's a lot of people out there that's cash heavy, that's out of state. It's interesting, like an out of state investor is focusing on properties in Spartanburg.
Right. South Carolina.
South Carolina, states away.
Right. That's the way it is in residential right now. You have people moving to South Carolina from everywhere.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
When I tell you everywhere. Some people are not even moving here yet. So what we're seeing a lot of as well is lease backs. So the seller is able to sell the property and lease it back from the owner because they're not even planning on moving here yet.
Wow. And then make them pay
Yes.
on it. What would be the advantage of someone doing that if you are the current owner?
So let's say that you have a property that you're selling, and let's say that its closing is however long away, months or whatever that you want to sell, because you may not have to sell to buy the house here. I
already thought I answered my question. But go ahead.
You may not have to sell to purchase the home here, or if it's an investor and they're purchasing homes for rental properties, then if the owner is waiting for a house to be built, and let me tell you, new construction around here, you're going to be waiting 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 months, depending on supply and demand for that builder. So they have to have somewhere to go. Most homeowners that are selling, if they're doing a new construction, they're having to find somewhere to rent while their home is being built.
Interesting.
So if they're able to lease back, now they don't have to move out of their home. Now they can lease their home back and stay there until their home is complete.
And that may be an option to someone thinking of moving anyway, and they want to get the equity out of the house.
Right.
Would that be a smart decision?
What do you mean?
So say if someone has $100,000 equity in their house, and say they bought the house for, I don't know, just $300,000, and now the value of the property is like $400,000. Because out here in Greenville, the properties are appreciating like crazy.
Well, I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Resale, not so much as new construction.
Okay.
So a resale property is where you're seeing the lease backs.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. It has a current owner in it.
But the resale properties are not, they're not appreciating as fast as your new construction.
I don't know.
They're appreciating, but so I'll give you an example. I was going to give this example anyway, so I'll jump ahead. Okay, so I have a client in a new construction. They signed the contract on that particular floor plan in this subdivision, right? Let's say they signed the contract and the property is $220,000. They're not slated to close until October.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going. Yeah.
They signed the contract in April. Okay. It is now the middle of May.
They're going into the house with equity.
Right. That same floor plan that they write a contract on today for that same floor plan is now $234,000.
Right.
They haven't even moved into the house yet.
Yeah.
It's $14,000 greater than what they wrote their contract for, right?
Got it.
You're not getting that equity and resell that quickly.
Oh, no, not that quickly. I definitely agree with you, not that quickly. I'm thinking someone who bought their home, like, say, 10 years ago.
Right.
And now they're sitting on like 100,000 equity in that house. And they want to buy a home that's going to take 6 months to build.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put their current home on the market. And and the house out here not sitting on the market for that long.
Right.
So her investor comes and buy that property.
And they're able to lease it back.
And they're able to lease it back. But when they buy that property, then the current owners who like
get
sell
that
it,
equity.
Get the equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tip out there for you guys.
Right. So, if you do not have reserves, you don't want to purchase right now because, again, you have to have money going into this market.
Okay.
So that's kind of what got us on that tangent of investors coming in. And buyers get frustrated when they're having to put offers in to 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 20 properties.
All on Facebook
and they lose
those groups.
They lose the property because they cannot compete because they don't have the cash to compete.
Right.
Now, you can go new construction, and this leads me into my next point. It's kind of a combination point. What's your price point, and are you flexible on area? Because this is what's happening in new construction.
Okay.
You have people that want to be in a specific area. If you're a buyer and you say, I have to be right here, I have to be in this school district, I can't go anywhere else, or I have to be in this particular area, I can't go anywhere else, then you may need to go ahead and try to buy right now. Because what is going to happen is you're going to get priced out of that area.
Mm.
So what you can afford in that area right now, in 2 months, you may be priced out of.
Right.
So you want to look at, am I flexible on my area? If I'm not, then I need to be looking at the market and seeing what the market is doing in that area. Because if I see the price continuing to do this,
Continue
in that to
do
climb, to climb, to climb.
Can you do it again?
He knows what I was doing. And you're saying, well, I think I'm going to wait 6 months, or I think I'm going to wait a year. Guess what? You're not going to be in that area 6 months to a year from now. I go ahead and tell you, I have a list of clients that I've worked with. You know, things happen and they decided to wait, or I want to wait till next year, or they had things that they needed to do before they move forward. They are priced out of the area that they were in when we first started.
The meeting today also, they was going over some data saying that the values out in the upstate are increasing on an average of 7% every year.
Yeah.
7%. So you think on a $300,000 home, 10% is $30,000. So 7%, I'm just approximate around like $23,000. Mm-hmm. So that's a $23,000 increase every year.
Right. So that's how you're priced out. Because you say, well, in this neighborhood, last year I could buy a house for $140,000. Well, this year, now the cost of that same house is $165,000. Guess what? If you're still making the same thing that you did last year, or very close to it, now your debt to income is not going to support,
or may not
support $165,000 property or $170,000 property.
Right.
And it's happening. And so that's why you may not want to wait to buy. If you know that, oh my gosh, these properties in my area, they're continuing to increase. I see it increasing. It's everywhere. It's on social media. It's, research it. See what's going on in your area and what's going on in the price points. And you have to be able to get out there and compete. How do you do that? Having reserves, having cash, and also your price point. Your price point. price point. I have so many people that I get it. A lot of people want to go into a brand new house.
Mm-hmm.
They want a new construction. I don't want a resale. I don't want something that's been lived in. And I get it. The resale market is tougher than a new construction because you're going into the multiple offer situation. You have to be cash heavy. You're competing. Whereas the new construction, they'll tell you what lots are available. This is what available, and you're going to have to wait that time out, right? But even in new construction, some of these builders in our area are limiting the amount of contracts their agents are able to write. If they're not in a certain stage in homes, they're not opening those lots to even write contracts on them. Mm-hmm. Some are writing contracts a year out.
Wow.
On properties because of the supply shortages. So they are going to continue to increase in price too. If you are in a price margin, and I'm just trying to be as reasonable as I can with buyers so you have a realistic gauge of what's going on. If you're in a price point of like 120 to 200,000, it's going to be very hard to get into a new construction in this area. It's very, very difficult. You may could do a townhome. You may could go outskirts and get into that price point.
Well, if you're in if you're in the upstate, and if you're in Spartanburg County, then Christopher Jefferson has an outstanding program where their program is actually taking people that's like currently like on public housing, Section 8 or low income, and they're building like homes for like between that price range to try to help these people to transition out of their current situation into like home that's affordable for them.
Right.
So if you guys are interested in something like that, if you're in the upstate or if you're in Spartanburg County, you definitely want to pull up Christopher Jefferson.
But
they go by CEEJ too, CEEJ, just to throw that out there. Brilliant young man. Make sure you check him out.
But the main thing is to make sure that you're ready to buy. Make sure your credit's ready. Make sure your funds are ready. And put yourself in a position to be able to where you're able to compete. And make sure that your income is where you want it to be. If you know that you want $175,000, a $200,000, a $250,000 house, that means you got to be out here working and obtaining the income to be able to support that monthly payment so that you can get approved for that amount of house. Right? So you want to make sure that your debt to income ratios look right, that you're not obtaining a lot of debt, that you're not going and getting loans and things like that are going to put you in a situation to where you're not going to be able to afford what you want.
Right.
But is now the time to buy?
Is it?
You have to make that decision for your personal self because if you say, well, I just want to wait 6 months or a year, then, that's the decision you make. And, as an agent, I always support my clients and decisions that they make. But you also have to realize I may not be in this area or this specific area that I want to be in if I decide to wait.
Right,
based on the price.
Right.
So that's it.
Should
you buy?
Should you buy? It's up to you.
If you need help, you can call me, 864-249-1437. We'll be more than happy to help you through the process, walk you through the process, have a meeting with you, tell you about all of the products and programs out there to help you and, teach you more about the market. It costs nothing to come sit down with us and for us to just analyze everything for you and see where you are.
If you're in the upstate.
Don't
fly in from Texas.
If you're not in the upstate, I can still help you.
Yes.
And we can get you referred to a great agent in your state, but we can at least walk you through your credit file, your debt to income ratios and things like that so that you and that agent are prepared for what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you ready to buy?
Are you ready to buy?
You can put it down in the comment
Call
section.
me. If you're ready to buy, call me.
The Pyramid Group.
The Pyramid Group.
with Keller Williams.
With Keller Williams.
The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams, Rebecca Wallace. Pull it up online. Rebecca Wallace. The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams. Excellent
864.
reviews. Excellent reviews.
249
249
1437.
1437. What are you waiting on? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hey, it costs nothing to get everything analyzed, and at least you're making the first step. Seeing if you are ready.
Right.
Right? You don't know until you analyze it and see.
Guys, thank you so much for watching the YMA Nation podcast, Real Estate Wednesday.
Real Estate Wednesday, guys.
Yes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you on Friday.
View what the boss's view. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.